gotta be honest, sometimes it seems like there's no winning because we complain about wanting new cards or new TCG exclusive cards that are good, or we complain that they're too broken, although that's been quite a while, and then they give us a card that's really good, but has next to no way to play it. So it's like, where's the middle ground here? Are we gonna get some fish to go with this new card, or not? Let's jump into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video, and thank you so much for checking it out. Before we get started, I'm just going to ask you, if you do appreciate and or like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to stay notified when new videos are uploaded, which I'm trying to do as much as possible, covering new content. I feel like I'm still behind on some stuff, but, you know, I didn't make a video about Splite, which I was going to do, but then, like, so much time has passed that, like, a lot of people know what that is. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it when it comes out. But that is neither here nor there. That is not the topic of today's video. Today's video is looking at the sneak peek promo for Power of the Elements. This appears to be a TCG exclusive. I could not find any evidence of it existing otherwise, so we're going to operate on that assumption. And it is Goaty of the Deep Beyond. Now, it is a level 10 Synchro fish. It is the first fish Synchro monster as far as I'm aware, although it is possible that there is one that I can't remember, but I'm fairly confident it's the first. So we're going to stick with it and hope that the research that I have done is sufficient here. And obviously this card will be in the set itself. That's the way the sneak peek promos work now. It'll likely be in the set as a secret rare. That's the way it's been for at least the past couple of sets, where the secret and then gets an ultra promo. Back in the day, you used to be guaranteed a promo with your sneak kits. Now they're sort of randomly given away, so they do tend to have more value. But let's look at the card itself. So it needs one or more fish tuners and one or more non-tuner monsters. So it's a limited number of Synchro monsters that exist in the game that can be made using multiple tuners. This is definitely one of them. The problem, of course, is what we'll get to in a moment. The original attack of this card becomes 500 times the number of banished monsters. If this card is Synchro summoned during your opponent's turn, you can banish all cards on the field. During the standby phase of the next turn after this card was banished from the monster zone, you can special summon this banished card. So it can get pretty beefy pretty quick if you're playing a deck that's relying around banishing stuff, or playing against a deck that's relying around banishing stuff. You would really only need at least 6 cards to be banished for this to be about a 3k beater, which is solid enough. And then, of course, that secondary line, if this card is Synchro summoned during your opponent's turn, you can banish all cards on the field. Is a very powerful effect. It's similar to the Topologic Zeraboros that was the Ultra Rare and the Rocket Structure deck from a couple of years back. Although I'd argue this might be better in a few ways. But what's really holding it back at the moment, and of course that self-recursion effect is good too, is the fact that there are very few fish tuners, and currently I see only one way to bring this out on your opponent's turn, and it is not practical. So it's got the makings of a really good card on paper if there's ways to make it, and what I'm hoping is that in this set they're going to give us some TCG exclusive fish that allow you to Synchro summon on your opponent's turn, or somehow maybe like a Synchro tuner similar to Formula that's a fish that you can like cheat out with Hulk, and then you can quick Synchro into something, because as it currently constitutes, this is what we're working with in terms of fish tuners. We've got Royal Swamp Eel. It's a level 4 water fish that just says if it's used as Synchro material, all the other Synchros must be fish type. Doesn't do anything to help our cause. We've got Gluttonous Reptolphin Greethus. It is a fish tuner that says you can target a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster in your graveyard with an equal or lower level than the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. If this card is used as Synchro material, you can make that monster gain 200 attack and defense for each card currently in your opponent's hand. So, it's a revival that can bring back a fish, sea serpent, or aqua from the grave, reliant on what the opponent has, but if you're playing low-level fish monsters, it's probably not too hard to resolve. But again, does not do anything to allow you to bring this out on the opponent's turn, and if you can't bring it out on the opponent's turn, the effect is far less potent, because again, at that point, it's just a large beat stick that doesn't do much of anything. Now, we also have Fishboard Blaster, currently banned, obviously an iconic card that people have talked about forever. It was abhorrently broken back in the day, and likely still would be now, but who knows, we have seen things come off the list in the future to promote other sets. I don't think we're going to get Fishboard back anytime soon, but I'm just throwing it out there as another option. It still does not make this playable, despite being inherently good, because there's no way to Synchro it during the opponent's turn. Now, we do have cards that are worth mentioning, such as Urgent Tuning. Urgent Tuning says during the battle phase, immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon one Synchro monster using monsters you control. I am not aware of any other card that exists that allows you to Synchro during the opponent's turn, at least not something that's not a card like Formula or TG Wonder Magician or something. But again, with your new card specifically here, you need to use fish tuners. So how do we get a fish tuner out that's going to allow us to do that? Of course, like a tuner fish, if you will. Fishboard Launcher and Fishboard Blaster, which I mentioned already, are both, solid options. Launcher is just a very watered down version of Blaster that does have some type of utility. And of course, we have things like urgent tuning to get this out, but there's just no real way to pull this together. So while I want to be excited about this card on the surface, it's really hard to look at it and think anything more than like, okay, like it's neat, but I don't know what you're like. Give me something more to bring this out. Either give me the ability to like quick synchro with a continuous spell or trap or something, or give me a fish that like when it's summoned you can immediately synchro summon. Something like Edge Imp Scythe, but like for fish, because certainly we know fish really should have another archetype that's actually playable beyond just sharks, which are very Xyz heavy. So I'd be optimistic, and I would very much enjoy seeing a fish synchro archetype, but this card on its own does not excite me as much as it should, because it's virtually unplayable right now unless you just want it as a big beat stick. Urgent Tuning is not a good card. It's a lot of work to do something that you might be able to do for less resources otherwise, but it feels really good on paper, and I'm really excited to see what the rest of the TCG exclusives are, because if they give us more fish, and they give us a fish quick synchro, or a fish tuner that can special itself during the opponent's turn and then synchro or something, even if it locks you into fish, like that's fine, because this is going to be your big sort of play you want to make. Typically, if they're releasing something like this, it leads me to believe that other things will follow that make it playable, but we will have to wait and see. So what do you guys think off the bat for this first card release for Power of the Elements as a TCG exclusive? Are you excited? Do you think it means we're likely to get other fish? You guys know I've played fish for a long time. I love the shark deck and stuff. I've done profiles for it on the channel before. But seeing fish go in another direction, especially with some of the new cards that came out in the Legendary Duelist Attack from the Deep, I mean, I'd be happy with that. I think fish is an undersupported type as a whole and would really benefit from some new cards. So it gives a, thumbs in the middle from me at the moment until we know whether or not there's other support coming. But I'm pretty optimistic about it. Hopefully it's better than things like War Rocks. And I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks, because Power of the Elements pre-release is about a month and a half away at the time I'm filming this. So I can guess that there's more things to come. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like the video and comment down below. Let me know your favorite, thing that we've talked about so far as it pertains to Power of the Elements. Let me know if you think there's going to be more stuff coming out to support fish, or if this is just some weird one-off that they want you to like go through cheeky stuff to play. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.